Hello and welcome to Youth House, the program on which we get up close and personal with outstanding youths. I am Abdullateef. My guest is Covenant Odedele, a medical student, social innovator, and talent developer. He is the team lead of Students on LinkedIn, 2023 Diana Award recipient, 2023 Fellow of the Carrington Fellowship, and the first medical student to be selected for the Nigeria Higher Education Foundation Scholars Program. How do you balance multiple pursuits
Yes,
and maintain focus on your career goals?
exactly. So, like I said, I still, I'll just compliment on what I said earlier, and then, answer, with my what I think. So, like I said earlier, I don't think I do too many things. Now, I understand that sometimes I get to maybe I'm involved in multiple projects at the same time, so it can really be overwhelming. In fact, like sometimes it takes a lot of your time, of your mind because it's mind work. I like to say that I'm doing a lot of mental work. Like I think a lot on the go, so my brain is working so much. So it takes a lot of my attention and all of that. So it can be really demanding, both mentally and physically, right? So, but for me, like I said, it's one thing. It just has many expressions. So I'm doing social impact, but that social impact now has many expressions. So I'm trying to just say that it won't be so tiring. It's not as demanding as maybe I'm doing social impact, I'm doing business, I'm doing sports, I'm doing, like it's still one thing. It's just like a circle where I just like revolve around the circle, or like what I'm trying to say, do it in different ways. That's it. So and then also there is the should I say the focus that I try to build around my work. I try to make sure that I evaluate my progress as much as I can afford to every time. And then particularly, I say that I live my life as a continuum. It's like a phase. One leads me to the other one. Like where I am now, it's like a consummation of everything I've done like the past 2, 3, 4 years, and where I'll be going also would be a function of where I am now. So it's not like levels on, like when you play games and then you unlock a level, that kind of stuff. It's more like a progression, a continuum. So because of that, I see it as a journey. So every time I know that, okay, I must not afford to get tired, I have to keep going. And then with my career, I think as much as possible, I know and I believe that everything I'm doing does have a role to play in my career, because I'm learning the skills, I'm owning the skills I need. I'm trying to build you know the necessary abilities around the future of the work I want to do. So that alone in itself, it's like it's is enough push for me to keep going every day. So yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who is just starting to explore his passions?
Okay, so I like to say that our journeys are very unique. That's very important. So we all have different journeys in life. No two human beings are the same. So it's very likely that you're going to experience life in a very different way. However, you can draw from the experiences of people who have, traversed the same path that you are about to walk. So for me, I would just recommend that number one, you have to really know what you want and know how you want it. Especially in the social impact development space, there's a whole lot, the SDGs, 17 SDGs, it's a buzzword, you're a social impact guy, you volunteer. So it's a very interesting space in the fact that it's very glamorous, it looks very nice, but sometimes if you don't know exactly what you want, you can be easily distracted. So you see that, okay, you're probably walking around SDG 3 today and tomorrow you're SDG 5, maybe like 2 months. So you get what I'm trying to say. So it's very exactly know what you want. And now the honest truth is, as human beings, especially if you're very ambitious, and you're growing, you may not exactly know what you want. You're still testing the waters. So start by knowing what you don't even want. You get what I'm trying to say. So there are things you're not do, you will not do, you're not gonna do. So just cancel those things and rule them out, and then focus on the options you still think you're considering, and then okay, begin to now engage them and rule them out. I think I was reading an article by Elon Musk, and it was speaking to a bunch of college, maybe students or graduates. And one of the advice he gave them was the fact that, as university students, I guess, as much as possible, do things that you're interested in. So when you do things you're interested in, you would be able to what's the word? Discover what exactly you want to do and what you're not doing. So my really first advice is the fact that you have to know yourself, know what you want, know how you want it, know, like, it's like you design your life by yourself. That's like the first thing I'll say. And I'll say that as much as possible, be consistent. There's a level of consistency that has to go into the work that you do as a person. Rome was not built in a day. You can't build anything in one day. So people love consistency. People, when you building a name for yourself, building the experience, building the needed exposure takes consistency. So you have to be consistent. I would also say that you have to surround yourself with I mean, with a very solid community. Community fast tracks everything.
Okay.
Anything you're doing, whether good or bad, just if you have community, you will move faster, you grow faster. So community is also very, very important. And I mean, I have some unique advice for people. I like to say that as much as you can, try to evaluate everything you're doing. Like at every point in time, make sure you're evaluating. You're doing something. You're checking. Okay, what's my progress? I do that like every. I'm not trying to exaggerate, but I can say every 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like twice or 3 times in a month. I'm just okay. How am I making progress? What have I done? What have I not done well? What have I? And then also you have to curate this. That's how I call it. It means that you're trying to like, okay, you've chosen a particular line, like this is what you want to do. So you're looking for what are the best things obtainable in this space. What's the best thing I can achieve as a medical student of the University of Ibadan? What have people done before in the past? You get what I'm trying to say? You're trying to expose your mind. You're trying to enlarge your mind. So all of these things, when you do them, with the right proportion, you realize how much speed, how much progress you can make, even in a short while. Yes.
Okay. Among all your achievements,
Yeah.
which one do you treasure the most?
This is a very, very interesting question. I don't know. I like to, for one, I'm not even someone who, yeah, the achievements are really good. But for me, in all genuineness, in all honesty, when I speak with people, they don't believe, they try to say like it's a fox, humility and all that. I like to say that awards are just, recognitions. They are byproducts of things you do. So for me, in fact, I'm really not even really proud about the biggest award. I would rather say maybe the biggest project or the project that, feels so dear to my heart. That's the funny thing, like, yeah, I'm privileged to be, to have gotten a couple of awards, in fact, being a Diana Award, recipients, in May this year when, the Prince and Princess of Sussex came to Nigeria. Exactly, I got to meet them and, it was really cool. It was really amazing. So all of these things, Diana Award, in winning Nigeria Youth Policy Hackathon, TEDx OAU, NHEF Scholar, Carrington Fellowship. They love these things, but genuinely, I can't pinpoint one. That's why, and also because I think that, where I am now is still very small compared to where I'm going. Recently, I got the privilege to be featured, AFP, International Media House, is preparing a cross-cultural portrait of, African students in 4 African countries, Nigeria, Senegal, Togo, and I think, Cote d'Ivoire, and, they're doing a, documentary. I was privileged to be the student selected, for Nigeria.
Wow.
And we had the documentary. It's yet to be out, hopefully. And then I was thinking, it was a very humbling experience for me. But really, when I think about it, all those things I don't feel so happy about them. I am.
Okay.
But if you had to ask me, I'd rather talk about the projects that I've done that really feels dear to my heart. It's like an endearing thing. Like, which one do I feel so attached to? I really think it was organizing the Congress in 2022. That thing, every time I think about it, I feel, it's not even, the word is not proud. It's like I feel so, I feel like I did something that challenged myself. I challenged myself, In fact, recently I put together a career and employability workshop in Ibadan, Nigeria for, female students. And, in all honesty, that's not the biggest project I've done. It was just a small, just 100 or I think about 105 or 110 students, participated, and that's really not the biggest thing I've done in terms of numbers. But really, I felt so proud because I could palpate the impact. And ladies are grateful. They were really grateful. They were happy. So I would rather not take pride or take fulfillment in maybe the awards. I really just think that genuinely, the statements that you make when you make some moves, the fact that you inspire people, the fact that people can dream because they see you do something, the fact that people can, say that, your action was an inflection point in their life is enough fulfillment for me. Genuinely, that's what drives me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any challenge you faced in your journey?
Yeah, of course. Life is full of challenges. So it's a lot. Being a medical student with all of these things, can be challenging. And for me, it's like a sold out life. It's not easy. It's like it takes a lot of your time and attention. So that's one. Also, the fact that I don't want to say Nigeria is understaffed, but there are not too many resources to support people doing these things, especially when you're just starting. So it takes a lot of grit and maybe just support from friends, family, interested people, all of that. And then maybe sometimes also the fact that sometimes you can be working for people and then they don't appreciate it. They don't even it feels like you're wasting your time. You get what I'm trying to say? They don't even know the impact of what you're doing for them. You can do a lot and then it doesn't turn out as well as you expected. So too many things to talk about. But it's still worth it in the end. Yeah, still worth it.
Okay.
Still worth it.
You are interested in the University of Ibadan Student Union Prof seat.
Yes.
What should you expect from you?
Okay, so thank you for that question. You should expect a redefined approach to student leadership. I think one thing I realized is the fact that the average students think the student union is a joke. They think that they are a bunch of people that are not interested in the service, that they just want to just occupy things for their CV, their portfolio, or maybe just enjoy the the feel of being a top executive. For me, it's more than that. I want to change that perspective. I want to bring a new, I like to say this way. I want to bring a new, fresh of hairs, a new pair of hairs and highs to the student union government in University of Ibadan. I want to redefine, what student leadership, what we have seen it to be, is service for the students. That's one. Another thing I want to do is I want to bring a strategic vision for the students. Year in, year out, we have leaders come and go, and then it seems like someone just comes, does something, another person can come mess it up, another person can come build it again. It's like time we start building, like we're building an empire. We need a vision to guide us. We need a vision. So I'll just say those two things for now. Let me keep the rest.
Okay. Auspicious times, right?
Auspicious times, yes.
From your updates,
Yes.
I've seen that you've met a number of past presidents of the union.
Yes, yes.
Who among them do you look up to as your number one mentor?
Okay, these kind of questions are very dicey. They put me in the fix. Having to pick one person may be very difficult. I mean, if I walk down the memory lane, I met Mr. Tokumbo Salako. It was the president just after the, I think, reinstatement of the student union. I think in 2012. I don't remember the year exactly now, but I met him before I even came to UI. I met him before I even wrote JAM. Okay. I met him as SS2 students back in the days, and I realized he told us, he was sharing a story with me. He was student union president, University of Ibadan, and all of that, and then so he was the first person I met. He really provides a lot of strategic insight, advice and all that. So I mean, it's like a big egg to me. That's one. Talking about the president when I was in Sunday level, mascots, Adinka Adewale, very amazing person, really pragmatic individual. And then from him to I skipped Mr. Odedele. I mean, I can't afford to. I also met him. I think I met him before coming to UI. Yes. Oh, yeah. I didn't even left UI before I came in, so I didn't meet him. I'm friends. So I've met these people. I mean, in very dynamic ways and very, I didn't even know I was going to run. At the time, and then they have proven to be very instrumental. Their advice, their counsel, their guidance. Talk about, Mr. Samson Tobiloba host, I mean, he's a senior colleague, I mean, in fact, and then the present president. Yes, exactly. So, it can be difficult to actually pinpoint. I'll just say that there are certain people that, by virtue of interaction, I mean, I've interacted more with them, but really, all of them, to be a president is not easy. It's not something it's deep work. So I respect all of them. I appreciate their labors and sacrifices for the union. But I mean, I hope to be able to succeed them and, do as much and maybe, aim higher.
Okay. I know Host is still on your campus.
Yes, he is.
Aside Host and maybe the current president.
Yes.
Have you shared your idea with any of the past ones?
Okay, well, yeah. Everybody is aware I'm running. Every of them.
Okay.
All those I've mentioned, they are quite aware.
What did they tell you?
Everybody gives you the advice, because I mean it's service, like I said earlier. I know there's a political part that everybody really talks about also, but for me it's more from a place of they want to try to see that the legacy they have built is well sustained. So that's like what drives it. So they just give you the best advice how that you should uphold the standards of the union, and all of that. So I've interacted with all of them, and they have shared their kind words with me. So yeah.
Okay. Aside from your goal to be the number one student on your campus, are there any other projects on the horizon?
Yeah, for me it's more like I want to, my broad goal is to like just see how I can harness the potential in the campus demographic. Like I believe not just UI now, every campus, as far as the university or tertiary institution, there is that vast potential to to create change because of the quality of things that go on there, the vast human resources students. So for me, my goal, for the rest of my years being a student, alongside being a medical student, is just to see how I can work with, individuals or stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, to just make sure that we can build the country even from the campus. That's like the grand goal for me, is just trying to see how, we can harness the potential in our campus ecosystems in every part of the country. And then from there, we can at least know that, because I believe so much that the campus holds the key to Nigeria, to Africa's prosperity, but we are yet to unlock it. So that's like my grand goal. Everything I'm doing is geared towards that goal. Yeah.
Covenant Odedele, thank you so much for
Thank you very, very much. I'm grateful. I enjoyed the conversations, and I'm happy I did this. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
I am Abdullateef. Till next time, stay motivated. Thank you.
Thank you.